Let us get down to business because, well, we have another draft to choke. We don't have the first overall pick. We do have the second. 2 years in, my drafting has left quite a bit to be desired, but I do still think our team's looking decent, given that we're trying the slow and steady approach, right? So our pitching staff, it is Shane Smith, who is only 27 at this point. But yeah, so I mean, we have Shane Smith, Noah Schultz, now 24 years old, 75B potential. Summers, I hope you feel better, but good to see you. Ender, what's up, by the way? Shout out to Trent for 120 streams in a row. That's nuts. We got Sean Burke. We got quite a few Massachusetts boys on this team. Hell yeah. We got Sean Burke rocking a 78. Hagen Smith at a 75. And Yeriksen Baez at a 73. It's not bad. I think it's Yeriksen. It might be Jetixon. Bought a car today. Congratulations on the debt, probably. Oh, bullpen. We have 74 overall long reliever Drew Thorpe. Juan Miea at a 75, $900. Oh, you bought a car. You bought a car. Absolute beater. No kidding. Good Lord. Yeah, you bought a car. $900. Whew. 77 for Emilio Pagan, 76 for Yariel Rodriguez, 73 for Jordan Leisure, and a 78 for Grant Taylor. So again, like I think we're looking okay. It's not great. We're still trying to develop. He bought a cardboard box on wheels. A 2005 Dodge Durango. What do you mean? That car is only like 10 years old. What do you mean it's 22 years old? Looks decent, runs well, drives well. That's not bad then. What the hell's the mileage? I'm intrigued. I'm not a car guy at all, but man, once you start talking about like, yeah, I bought this over 20-year fucking vehicle for $900, $275K. At least you didn't spend much on it then, right? At least you didn't spend much on it. Found some YouTuber today pulling your type of stuff. NBA required to draft the tallest, shortest person. Took him like 15 years to win a title. Have we done a height? Yeah, my Durango. Oh, God. I was going to say, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, right? I don't know fuck about fuck when it comes to vehicles. I have just never been a car guy at all, much to my dad's chagrin, but at least I'm a sports guy, so he's all right with that. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like some of those vehicles hold up a little bit better. Then again, half the time, I still see people, especially around Maine, you'll see stuff from the frickin' 80s and 90s still all the time. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, Marcelo, those type of runs are always fun, right? Someone in the comments trying to get into the David challenge, like the Peter challenge. And oh, God, good luck. Good luck. A buddy of mine has an 03 Jetta. It hit 500 kilometers last week. Jesus. Anyway, you've had time to look at the lineup while we've been shooting the shit about nothing, right? So, I mean, we'll see what the boys can do this year. We'll see. We will see. Got some rookies in the mix, so we'll get some time. And we'll see what happens. But the big thing for us, of course, I need to make sure is the trade hub. All right, we do have our guys on the block, including 17 million second baseman. Still trying to get that full-time third baseman. Marsteller, I'm happy you're excited for it. It has an oil leak, but it's fine otherwise. Aha! There's the catch. There's the catch. All right. Got the parts to fix it at least. Oh, okay. I mean, hey, not a bad deal then, right? Obviously, it's not going to last you forever, but not a bad deal. What do we want to do here? What do we want to do here? We do have the second overall pick. We need to make sure that we get it right. But maybe some general scouting for a couple of weeks might be the better way to go. I'm not sure what I want to do. Because we do still need that project first baseman. Please try to pay attention to what scouts are good at scouting what position. I am Puck Nerd, I normally do. I mean, I feel like I don't put Marcos Brandt on starting pitchers that often. Even then, I mean, it's a 70, you know? But I feel like I don't put him on starting pitchers all that much. But, you know, I made sure we got guys that are mostly good at high efficiency, and we're not really worried about discovery. At least in this particular challenge. Got Montgomery in right. Cunha in left. We got Beck. We don't really have that third baseman still. We got Carlson at second. It's really... It's pitching, it's first and third base. So we could do some general scouting in those positions first. So let's have him look at pitching. And then these two are going to be looking at the first base positions. Guess I hit my max to make it make it to fix 175. NCAA, I got you. It's tough to hit those streaks, man. It's tough to hit those streaks. Can you determine draft class quality? I don't think you can in this game, actually, right? It's just, it is what it is. Which I don't hate. But yeah, to my recollection, yeah, it's just, it is what it is, basically. So, which again, I don't hate the idea of that, but I imagine some people do. JT Realmuto has been cap dumped for Gerald Perez, who's actually not even that bad. Nope, I lied. That's a trade offer. I looked at it way too quickly. I mean, it would get rid of one of those second basemen, but honestly, that's not enough. Like, if we're gonna take on like a true $15 million cap dump for 37-year-old, 70 overall JT Realmuto, I need more back. Just happy you aren't hating the trade logic. I've been enjoying it so far, although I am kind of mad that the AI is trying to rip me off here. Right? Like, hey, do you want our old veteran for nothing? It's like, no. No, that's not what I want to do, actually. If you're getting fucking JT Realmuto off of your books, you can have Jacob Gonzalez. But you are also definitely giving me something back. I do know that they have that crazy third baseman that I've really wanted to get for a while now, but I don't think he'll happen in this deal. That's if they even kept him. They did, and he's untouchable, son of a bitch. No Juan Soto monster contract every trade attempt like last year. So far, no. Thankfully. Yeah, if we're going to take Realmuto, are we using the stand? Yeah, just straight up most recent live roster. No one, to my knowledge, had, at least when we started this the other day, no one had like a crazy custom roster out yet or anything like that, so. Okay, well, if I'm going to take on JT Realmuto, which I will do, I at least need some form of prospect back, even if they're not that good. The problem is they are just not looking to do that. Marcel or Spotify. Can't play the in-game soundtrack without DMCA issues. So this random closer, Phil McMahon, and this god-awful first base, or, yeah, we got this god-awful catcher. We got this god-awful, here, yeah, let's... I'll take JT Realmuto, but you are giving me some long-shot prospects. That's the only way that's happening. You're clearing out $15 million bucks, you better give me something back. You better. Generational talent, still like 76, 81 overall with 99 potential. We've only seen one so far, and he was about a 78 overall. Yeah. All right, let's see. So starters, we'll go Central. First base, we'll go East and International. All right. They're really taking their time for the response. Considered some counter offers. We decided to hold off at this time. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Starting pitchers again. We'll go to the East. And now we are moving over to third base West, third base Central. Ripley, welcome back. What's happening? We're actually over 500 towards the end of April. I'm kind of surprised. Starting pitcher international. Then we'll go East and international there. So I might still look at relievers, but for the most part, we are getting that general scouting in on the 3 biggest positions of need. And then we can take a look at the guys at the top of the board to try and fill in the blank since we have the 2nd overall pick. So, for example, catcher Grant Enriquez. You know what? I actually fucked up already in terms of the scouting because I meant to put Marcos Brandt with the position players. So, see, that time I did screw up. But also, I screwed up. We'll be fine. Buxton in center field. And Lenny Bravo in center field. All right, could be a good year for center fielders. We shall see. Mason, ooh, that's a big deal. Mason Miller, the 93 overall closer. Freddie Fermin, who is 32 and an 82. And Colby Allard, 3.8 mil, 71 overall last year, his deal. For Keaton McKee, who's a bit of a long shot third baseman. I mean, he's 21. Actually, that's not true. He's about 8 points away from being ready. He's going to be decent. He's going to be decent. Ramon Quintana's not bad either. And Henry Baez is okay. That is a pretty good deal for both. You get a major league caliber catcher. You get the closer, and indeed, Mason Miller is going back to the A's. I don't hate that deal. I don't. That is not bad at all. Eating frozen blueberries at 11 p.m. and living vicariously through you because I don't have the money for this. Everything's great. Oh, Ripley, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but the blueberries sound delicious at least. All right, let's see. Who else do we have? Louis Anderle. We are going to scout out the guys at the top a little bit more, but let's look at Luther Hazel. Hands blue as fuck. Taker, a year older. Malcolm Brock, center, left, and shortstop. There we go. Barris, what's up, dude? What's up, what's up? Did you have pie for Pie Day? I did not. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Got through watching the 2K10 Flyers. Here's a great watch. Seals, thank you for that. I had fun. I had a lot of fun. By the way, Orb, what's going on? And, yeah, sorry I missed that comment initially, Seals, on the YouTube side of things. Sometimes the chat is a bit weird. Shout out to Taker for the 31 months. You got 1 month to go, and then you're caught up.
Highly unnecessary.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that 2K10 playthrough. Like, obviously, I adore that game. It's not perfect, but it is arguably my favorite hockey game. And it's interesting because a couple years ago, people were being like, oh, then you should do like a full playthrough of a season in NHL. People didn't like that one as much. But I still have people be like, oh man, that 2K10 playthrough, you should do that again. So I don't know if it's just a matter of the game is different enough or if it is that much more interesting to watch. You know? Alright, who else haven't we looked at really at all? Eugene Bean! Hell yeah, we can't look at the starters with this guy though. Elvis Douglas. Whoops. Yeah, see, that's why I normally just do cancel assignment. It's better muscle memory. Alright. We will still have to look at the other guys. Damn. Ace, thank you. Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, let's get full info on Enriquez and Buxton. So that was catcher, center, and right. Again, we got the second overall pick. We really don't want to mess it up. I have not had the best of luck so far. At all. Oh, again, Polly, what's up? We have a badass single-serving pie shop in town. I'm kind of jealous, honestly. Then again, my father-in-law is a tremendous baker, but there was no pie for the occasion today. All right, left, short, and starter. I'm assuming the White Sox are still terrible. I mean, what are we so far? 30 and 29? Like, we're not great, but we're not god-awful. You know, slow and steady progress, but we really do need to hit on these top picks. Hey, remember when we were going to get Gage Jump and then the game crashed? But veteran Michael King for younger Gage Jump, it's a good deal. Padres and Athletics continue. They continue to make trades here. Oh, yes, my son has his learner's permit, so he's always on our ass to drive places. That's fair. It's good parenting, too, to just be like, all right, cool, let's go. Although, how often do you have a hold of the little oh shit handle, you know, in the passenger seat? What time is Revolution tomorrow night? I think it's, like, the pre-show, I think, is 7, even earlier, Hulk, so it's going to be a long show. I don't even know if I'm going to watch it. I'm probably going to prioritize making sure that we stream, because as much as I love AEW, goddamn, man, those pay-per-views, as good as they are so fucking long. All right. We're still hovering around 500. I don't know if that's good or bad in the grand scheme of things here. Like, on one hand, it's bad because we need higher draft picks. On the other hand, I haven't been able to draft worth a damn so far in this game. It's not 5 hours. This isn't even an AEW pay-per-view. It's true. The Rock likes all kinds of pie. To the point he put out a song about it. Brenton Doyle has been traded to Baltimore, along with Patrick Sandoval's monster contract, Victor Vodnik, and Justin Lawrence, primarily for Lazaro Montez, Nate George, and Ike Irish. Not a bad deal. Again, it's a lot of shedding of salary for Colorado. Baltimore gets Brenton Doyle. I don't hate it. Like I said, I keep looking for trades where I'm like, what the fuck is that? It hasn't happened. 80s, dude, that is the third trade between the Athletics and the Padres. Jeremiah Estrada, 86 overall reliever, for a 25-year-old starter who is Major League caliber, see potential. Yeah, I mean, again, a bit of a salary dump for the Padres once more. You know, probably find more of an issue with that one, but even then, I'm like, yeah, okay, makes sense. I learned he's freeze on the fight, flight, or freeze, which is scary as hell when he gets to a yellow and all of a sudden hits the damn brakes. Stops in the intersection, freaking out about what to do. Oof. That is, that's a bit scary. That's a little bit scary, I'll give you that. I don't even necessarily have advice. Catcher first and left. He's getting better, but scary as hell. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even necessarily have advice that you probably wouldn't even have yourself in terms of just being like, hey, here's what to do instead, because that's a bit rough. Sean Murphy and, wow, that Gary Sanchez contract is aging terribly. For pretty good center fielder Rob Sinclair and a decent shortstop in Ibanez. That's the Pirates buying. It's 2 good prospects for Sean Murphy, who's still very good. Well, he's struggling this year, but he should be good. He's an 87, so not bad. Just wait a day at this point for AW and skip to the stuff I don't have an interest in. That's fair. That is fair. All right. Let's see. We got 2 more weeks of scouting here. Let's look at Rondell Williamson. Then again, if that's a closer that is projected to be that good, then I think we know if he's available in the second round or so that we take him. So let's look at catcher Rich Castaneda. So 2 catchers and a first baseman. We'll go that way. How much do you have stored in the Dad Stories memory bank between Finland, Vancouver, Kakalaki, among other events? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I think back to those trips, and again, you will know this, like, I'm not like, oh, yeah, dude, the fucking parties in Vancouver and shit. Like, no. Like, again, I've told the story before. The first time I went to Vancouver for an EA NHL event, they gave everybody a small stipend to say, hey, in case you're missing work to be here, we're going to try to help you a little bit with that. For quite a few people, it was, let's go to the fucking casino, boys. And I'm like, I'll go, sure. This was the night before we had to fucking go home. So that was scary for me as someone who was like, oh my God, I got to get to the airport and I got to do this, I got to do that. I took out $100 of this stipend, did not gamble a cent of it. It wasn't even my own fucking money. Didn't gamble a cent of it, gave it all to my Uber driver as a tip on the way to the airport the next day. He hugged me. So, like, you know, that's my story, is why gamble when you can make an Uber driver's day, you know? That's my dad's story. Party in Vancouver? No! Be financially responsible, if you can. Did we get the first overall pick again? We have the second. Just happy he's never even considered looking at his phone. That's fair. That is fair, Marsteller. Vancouver's too expensive to party in anyway. Yeah. But again, like, just that idea of just like, I can't even gamble with somebody else's money, for God's sakes, let alone my own. I'm like, look, I can pay the bills with this. So, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Our final week of scouting. Second overall pick. We need to make the most of this. Williamson, we know, should be good. We got quite a few starters coming up here. In which case, this guy that is scouting is not the best at looking at starters. I am interested in Brian Young, though. How bad is Casey's roster to be worse than us? I can look in a minute, actually. So, yeah, Williamson, I'm confident, would be good. I mean, if a closer's projected top 10, like, at least for us, or 19th, like, he's going to be good. Perez on 60%. I want to look more at Young. Trying to see if there's anyone else who has a projected overall that's higher. Another closer, Boris Travis. Boris? People are still naming their kids Boris. Wasn't Boris the name of the grandfather in Rugrats? Or am I confusing that because they made borscht? Anyway. All right, we do have a second baseman here, Jesus Rivera. Let's look at that guy. And then the other starters that we were interested in. Brian Young, certainly. And Boris Travis, again, we can have confidence is going to be good. It's like a Thomas Cornell. All right. I had a friend of mine who moved to Vancouver with his fiance at the time, and then about 3 months into it, she broke it off with him, and he had 9 months on lease on a 2-bedroom. Oof, yikes. Yeah, Vancouver is Vancouver is a gorgeous city, but my God, expensive. Juan Soto has been traded to Boston. 29 years old, 98 overall. $51 million contract for 12 more years. And thank you to Catcher for the 77 months. He's still here. For Carlos Chavez, who's a decent second base prospect with that A potential. Tim Emerson, who's a really good closer. And Trevor Story's cap, which is up at the end of the year. That, again, screams the Mets trying to get out from under a big contract. They did, though. Compared to the Mike Trout deal, this is better. Because, again, like the Angels traded Mike Trout to the Mets and got back a shortstop that the Angels didn't even keep. This, they are getting 2 usable players, and of course, an abundance of salary space. I don't hate this. Like, yes, the idea of like, oh, they traded Juan Soto already, like, I get that, but you can't stop the AI from doing that. I do think the return makes sense. It's not just like a C-level prospect in Trevor Story. They got usable pieces, and they're getting that salary relief. Red Sox are in a war right now with basically everybody in that division. The Mets are bad. The Mets are bad. 41-53. I mean, for the Red Sox getting Juan Soto, I mean, they did already have Roman Anthony and Jarren Duran in left. Okay, so I will say for the Red Sox, it might not make the most sense given that they have Anthony, they have Duran, Rafaela, and Wilyer Abreu. But I mean, obviously, you know, subsequent move could happen. Hopefully it does. If we look at the deal for the Mets, I mean, they still have Trout, they have Ewing, Carson Bench. And we know that they were struggling a bit. Some of those key players are older. I definitely think you can find fault in it. That said, in real life, if a player like Juan Soto is available, you do it and then figure it out from there. So this might deserve more of an incomplete for the moment. Plus, Rafaela can play the infield. Like, Romy Gonzalez could take a seat. Willie Adames is still there, too. I know the AI can't do this, but they did acquire Trout last year and probably should have flipped him instead, probably. We'll keep an eye on the Red Sox to see if they do anything else. But that brings us to the 2028 draft. Again, we have the 2nd overall pick. Number 1 guy on our board is apparently the 17th ranked first baseman, Matt Henley, who, damn good contact hitter and pretty good power. Seth, this is year 3 now. But that's pretty much all he is a bat. Can also play catcher in right field. Then there's the number 1 projected Grant Enriquez, who, yeah, he is like the ultimate defensive catcher. The arm strength, the fielding ability. He is, in theory, we said this about a certain third baseman last year, but in theory, a Gold Glove catcher. Then there's left fielder Luther Hazel. Great contact, fast as hell. Super well-rounded. Not the best. Not the best defensively. Super well-rounded, though. Shortstop Howard Holton. Not amazing in anything except for the speed. And the arm strength. But not bad. Buxton. Center field. He's going to have great reaction time. Fielding, not so much. Doesn't have the best arm. Not the best bat. I don't like him. Which means he'll probably be the best. Shortstop Malcolm Brock is guaranteed apparently to be a B potential. I don't necessarily like him that much either. What about starter Ward Bennett? Right? Like, it's fine. Doesn't look insane at all. Anderley apparently has injury issues. I wish he had a slightly stronger arm. I might consider taking him. And then Rondell Williamson at closer, and then we fall a bit further back. Paul Perez doesn't really look that good. Brian Young? Only 55% scouted, though. But what's there does look good, but he has a starter with just 3 pitches. That's not bad, though. What about Eugene Bean? No guarantee of an A potential. Aside from that dude Tampa drafted in year 1, these first few drafts have been mind-blowing. I don't disagree. Center fielder Lenny Bravo. What about Rich Castaneda? Obviously, we just take the other catcher. I can't say I'm enthralled by really anybody, which is kind of scary. But obviously, like Henley, Enriquez, I mean, Hazel, Holton, Buxton, Malcolm Brock. I mean, just to add all these guys to the board again, right? Because we pretty much know best player is probably the closer. Yeah, it's very true. All right, let's see. So one more look here. Matt Henley is a first baseman. There's a bat to him. Overall is projected to be between a 55 and a 70. But 81 to 96 potential. Let's be honest, catcher right field isn't going to happen. He doesn't have the arm for it. Meg, welcome back. Glad to know you had fun. Enriquez, just pure defense. He can play right field. I mean, he can, but again, like that arm strength is just It's for me, at least. There's no way we take another defensive first player, right? 58 to a 70 overall. And an 82 to 94 potential. Hazel's a 58 to a 75 overall. 75 to 92 potential. Hazel does probably look like the most well-rounded. So many of these guys. Is anybody? The only guy projected to be above a 60 is Malcolm Brock, but we know there's no chance of him being an A potential. Like, we need to aim higher, right? Like, this guy, apparently, if our scouts are right, this guy doesn't have a chance of being generational. Man, I hate the disparity in potential. Why have scouts even though they don't do shit? Because baseball. That's just kind of the nature of the beast with baseball, is it is a crazy, crazy crapshoot, you know? So. Hulu's the Randy Orton of television, killing legends over and over. First Lizzie, now Buffy. I don't think we can go for Brock. I think we got to aim higher, which means he'll probably be the best. Ward Senate doesn't even have a chance of apparently being a 70. Anderle, 75, but no chance of an A potential. Alright, let's get rid of Anderle. Let's get rid of Eugene Bean. You don't ever see busting on the franchise mode, really? Basically, yeah. NHL, you'll see a bust, but it'll be a dude with confirmed low 9 potential, and it's like, yeah, clearly. Clearly that dude is a bust. Every single one of these players has a floor in the 50s. Everyone except Ward Sennett has a chance of being at least a 70. So Ward, I hate to tell you, I think you're going to be out. We're down to these 6. I'm sure one of them will be off the board and be unavailable. Again, Henley is just a bat. That's it. Average injury risk. Sent to the sinus as bonus demand. Low injury risk. Another Mainer. Matt Henley. Could be 2 Mainers in a row. Unknown risk for Hazel. Unknown for the Canadian Howard Holton. Unknown for Buxton. Unknown for Brian Young. All right, so there's really no crazy injury concerns. Inadvertent main-only challenge. Not wrong. So, I mean, Henley, according to them, right, Henley and Enriquez are at least a guaranteed B. Can I trust that? Luther Hazel is probably the most well-rounded. Like, he's not looking to be below average in any way. And his contact is nuts. And there's also Howard Holton, 75 to a 92. Outside of drag bunting, which is apparently always going to be terrible. How long have you been masquerading as Tom Brady and running the Raiders? Their offseason looks like one of your rebuilds. I think I would have stuck the landing for the 2 first-rounders, though, for Crosby. Buxton, 74 to a 91. Crazy fielder. Average arm strength. Not the best at the plate. The Portland Lobster Sox. Then pitcher Brian Young. I don't know. I don't know who we want our top 2 targets to be. Because one of these guys will probably get selected first. And again, we have pick number 2, Derek Jeter, number 2. Henley is a pure bat. Enriquez, straight up defense. Although is projected to have below average vision. He is pure defense. Henley, it's average batting at worst. Maybe below average power against righties. Hazel, average contact, bare minimum. But fielding-wise, power-wise, arm strength-wise, there's a chance it could all be below average. Same for Holton, a lot of possibilities of being below average. Same for Buxton, except for his fielding ability, his reaction time is crazy. And then Brian Young does not look to be a high strikeout pitcher at all. Clutch and home runs could each be low. His pitch break could all be terrible. Pitch quality could all be decent, though. Every single one of these players has a problem. Like, there truly is no guarantee here at all. Which means maybe we just go off of need. Which would be either Henley or Young. Like, we don't need as much help in these other positions, you know? The extra outfield help, probably, but... Trade it? Can't. I'm scared. The Washington Nationals have the first overall pick, and they take catcher Michael Chow. Well, that doesn't help our decision at all. Way off the board from Washington. Whew. So off the board. Good Lord. Oh, no. We got 4 minutes. You won't be the worst bust this year? Okay, maybe. They did reach last year or 2 years ago, and we're terrible. Again... Like, Enriquez at catcher is going to be an outstanding defensive catcher, but average at best at the plate. Holton isn't the guy. Although, for Holton, he's kind of average at everything. Jack of all trades, master of none. Buckzone in center field. Jack of all trades in a way, but definitely defensive first. Why is Spice Rum and Diet Coke so good? Good question. They are good, though. Luther Hazel. Good at the plate, average defensively. He was also the one that might have had some injury trouble, apparently. Starting pitcher, Brian Young. I do like the looks of him a lot. I'm a bit worried he only has 3 pitches. And then Matt Henley is just a pure bat. We didn't take a first baseman last year, and we kind of paid for it. First and starter are probably the 2 that we need the most. He was projected 11th on the MLB boards. Henley was projected 17th. Hazel 6th. Sohn 3rd. Holton 8th. Enriquez number 1. We did say we should probably just take the guy who's projected number 1, right? We did say that before. Age on Henley, he's young. He's 18. Yeah, all these guys are 18 to 19 years old. It's Henley for need, Enriquez because he was projected first. 82 to 94, 81 to 96. Don Henley. I hope I don't regret this. We're going for the first baseman. Oh, Matt Don Henley. Please be good. We just took 2 Mainers in back-to-back drafts in the first round. Oh, boy. And the 3rd overall pick is starting pitcher Paul Perez, who was projected 10th. Who our scouts didn't like as much. Again, our next pick is 38th, and we'll see if a pitcher's still there. None of our guys are still there. Holton went 4th. Sohn 7th. Hazel 8th. Brock went 11th. Enriquez didn't go until 18th, which is nuts. Brian Young went 24th to Seattle. All right, so yes, the fucking closer, Rondell Williamson's still there. House money, baby. House money with that closer. It's got to be. Although, in fairness, Boris Travis is right there, too. So is right fielder Steven Winston. How many of these other dudes were projected as first rounders? Just these 4. So Rondell, only 10% scouted, but again, he was projected 19th. That outfielder Steven Winston, we have 10% scouted. We just have no way of knowing. Was projected 21st. And then Boris Travis, 23rd. Yeah, we're taking Rondell Williamson. Welcome in, Rondell. Please be as good as advertised. Please. All right, round 3, we have a minute. And honestly, we might as well just try to trust. There is another closer, Coleman Good. And he fucking looks good, too, right? There's also closer, Sandy Cox. With a potential of a 91 overall, allegedly. We'll take another closer, Sandy Cox. Hell yeah. We did need bullpen help, so. Round 4. Projected to be undrafted starter Ronald Walsh. There's also Rhett Sewell. Sean Kennedy. Heath Carlson isn't that bad because of the overall. Grayson Gross. All right, this one is also going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to go for Walsh. Aim high with a starter. Round 5, all those other dudes are gone. First baseman Dan Sheets, just to hope for the best. Felix Taveras. Manuel Mitra, Hunter Lance, Eric Rodriguez. Hello, Luther Gibbons. I'm just looking at potential here really quickly. I know we don't have that much time. Looking for higher potential or higher overalls. I think that's what we got for now. We could double down on first baseman. There's also a catcher there in Hunter Lance. Fuck it. 3 sheets to the win. Whoops, I removed him. Potential of a 57? Jesus. Well, it's going to be Felix Taveras then. Fuck it. It's fine. It's fine. And then final round... Presley, potentially a high potential. Anybody else? Nailed it. Well. If I didn't want to potentially take that reliever, I wouldn't have had him on my board, right? Presley or Ramirez. It's a third baseman regardless. Both of them are fucking horrific. So I'll go for Calvin just because the range is a bit better. Welcome in, Calvin. We'll see how we did. I'm not sure. I am definitely not sure. But we'll hope for the best. Invested in some help in the corners, some pitching help. We'll hope it worked. Home Run Derby is today. Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Judge, Michael Busch, Riley Green, Corey Seager, Ketel Marte, Francisco Lindor, and Taylor Ward. All right. So at the All-Star break, we have started to dip back down. We're now 43 and 54. Just 2 games above the Royals, who I never ended up looking at. It's my bad there. But the Angels, Rangers, and Royals are all below us. As are the Cardinals, Rockies, and Giants. We're right there with the Mets and the Brewers, so... As expected, yeah, we're still not very good. But, let's see who we have for an All-Star. We have at least one. Whether they are deserving or not. Apparently Joe Ryan's going to be the starter there. It is not a pitcher this year. It's going to be a position player, and it's Munetaka Murakami, who has made the All-Star game for us, probably just by default. And yeah, 18 home runs, 49 RBI, 862 OPS. Okay, that's not that bad. It's not too bad. All right. Hunter Barco has been traded straight up for Jazz Chisholm. Good old Chaz Chisholm. Again, that is a cap dump by Tampa. Moving $24 million worth of Jazz for a useful starter. That is a cap dump. I don't hate the idea that the AI is like, we need to move this fucking salary. Get it out of here. I don't hate it. All right. Data sign draft picks. Mr. Henley. Can we get you signed? Not immediately. Right. Yeah, we're pushing back towards 500 again. Mr. Henley has signed. What about Ronald Walsh? Declined. Smart salary management by the AI. Daniel, you did miss the draft, but you haven't missed the results of it because we still got to sign everybody. So, see, Rondell Williamson, those potential and overall ranges have really dipped, but he could still be pretty damn good. He has signed. And then Mr. Walsh has declined again. Can we just get Presley signed? Yes. All right. So our final three are in the mix there. That works. Some human GMs that could learn the concept from the AI, honestly. Ooh, big trade. So the Reds move starter in his prime, Andrew Abbott, 29-year-old starter Brandon Williamson, and a very cooked Travis d'Arnaud for very promising starting pitcher Andre Sizemore, another promising starter in Alan Ochoa, and a useful player for now in Spencer Arrighetti. I mean, they get younger, they get kind of equivalent players that are, you know, going to grow into being that level, so no critique. Watch your Oiler 5-year rebuild from a few months ago. Just watching reactions to the AI roster management and that compared to this is night and day. Well, you know, again, I'm not saying we've seen perfection here, but at least with a good amount of these moves, you can look at it and be like, "Oh, okay, I can see what the AI is thinking there." You know. Let's see. We have not. You should see the IRL Oilers. Yeah, fair. All right, Sandy Cox declines. We'll put him into that secondary role. Deadline's coming up. We have had nothing going on until now. Moises Chassé, a 24-year-old, 73 overall starter, and Morgan Andrade, a 23-year-old second baseman. For Billy Carlson, it was a promising shortstop, but has kind of hit a wall. Christian Campbell, who we know just isn't really going to pan out now, like, we tried to give him a second chance after he declined and the Red Sox dealt him, but he's 25 now. He's only a 74. And then Jordan Leisure, who is on a decent deal. This is them basically going, hey, you want to get rid of Christian Campbell, don't you? We'll take Carlson and a useful reliever to do it. I mean, we'll give you an okay starter and like a depth at best second baseman to do it. I'm not that worried about getting rid of Christian Campbell. So I'm going to decline that deal. I don't even want to counter offer. At least the AI tries to actually sign and re-sign its good players. Imagine, right? All right. And we signed Sandy Cox. Not yet. Those two are going to be down to the wire. Trade deadline today, and really nothing has happened for us this year in regards to the deadline. And Christian Campbell is tearing it up in AAA. He's got a 344 average. I know it's cut off by the webcam. Yeah, there's definitely people here I'd like to trade, but nobody where I'm like, oh my god, they gotta go. So, unless there's somebody crazy out there on a trade block, particularly, well, I was gonna say particularly like a younger player. There was like Jose Palmero, but also we don't really have time to negotiate it now with it being deadline day proper, so nobody was really interested in what we had, and, well, that is okay. But it is the deadline to sign our draft picks. Sandy Cox does get top priority here. Sandy Cox has signed. Felix Taveras has signed. Okay, so we did get our entire class. As we've learned. Save often. Save often. Todd, I was aware. I was aware. All right. So, third year in a row with at least a top 2 pick. Have we blown it? For the third year in a row. Will Matt Henley be good? 3, 2, 1. We finally did a good! Thank God! A 68 overall, a potential 18-year-old first baseman out of the wonderful state of Maine. He's got that lumberjack strength. He can pick blueberries like a fucking madman. Matt Henley. Yeah, look out, George Gore. Your status as the best player ever from this state. It's in a whole lot of trouble. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Next up. Okay, Rondell Williamson was not as good as advertised. He is a 72 overall out of the gates, but he's only a C potential. So, I mean, he's going to be a serviceable reliever, but he's never going to be like an all-star like he probably should have been. So that's a bit disappointing. But he's usable. Same for Sandy Cox. God, we got you baited by those closers. Holy shit. 71 overall, C potential at 18. So we got 2 useful closers or relief pitchers, but no future all-star. That starting pitcher, Ronald Walsh, is a B potential. At 51, he's only 18, so he's got plenty of time to develop. Felix Taveras, who was the auto pick, is bad. And Calvin Presley, the guy we took at the very end, 47 overall, A potential at 18 years old for a third baseman. So, all in all, Henley, Walsh, Presley, pretty good. Williamson and Sandy Cox are both serviceable. It's probably our best draft top to bottom so far. Just a shame neither of these two ended up being at least a B potential. Cox was pretty close. Cleveland with Julius Parker. That guy's a 58 overall, so he's solid. Gene Waldron's only a 52. Detroit, good lord. Awful in terms of high-end talent. Kansas City with Malcolm Brock, who is a 74. So as expected, the highest floor, but not the highest of ceilings. The first baseman, Angel Sanchez, is a 53. Jackie Blank's a 62. That's a pretty good draft for Kansas City. Not bad. Minnesota with starter Derek Chacon. 63 overall for him. Great player. I wish our scouts had found him. And then shortstop Andre Feliz is a 58. Okay. And Ramirez down here at the bottom is 44 overall. Not great. Houston. Well, it turns out that catcher would have been pretty good. Can't really go wrong with the first overall guy, can you? Grant Enriquez is a 65. We made the right choice, though, going for the first baseman. That was a much bigger team need. And Gage Sanders at 53 as a reliever. That's not bad. How would I rank the drafting/prospect systems for the major sports games? Obviously, CFB and the AFC don't have drafting in the traditional sense, but still. Drafting/prospect systems. That is a very, very good question. Oh boy. So FC is very basic in their youth academy recruiting. I'm not saying it necessarily should be that much crazier, but it is pretty simplistic, so that's like our middle ground. Madden's scouting, I enjoy it, even though it's simplified. I enjoy it. The draft experience is pretty solid too, so it's definitely above FC. NBA, the draft presentation's great. The scouting is non-existent. So NBA is more towards an FC territory than a Madden territory for me. Even though, again, the presentation for NBA is very good. At least in terms of the info it gives you. NHL is the worst of the bunch I've mentioned so far. The scouting is not engaging at all. The draft is not engaging at all. You basically never have the AI go off the board. It's very rare when they do. NHL's is easily the worst. And then for the show, it's the best. Out of the yearly release console-based sports games, it's the best out of all the games I've mentioned. And then there's college football. It's up there with college football, right? Now, obviously, college football doesn't have a draft, but the recruiting for college football is outstanding. So, yeah, you're looking at college football and at MLB being the most intriguing games in which to rebuild a team through those, either through recruitment or through drafting. Like, clearly, it's this in college football that are the most enticing. For my money, at least. That obviously discounts Football Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Franchise Hockey Manager, but again, like we're talking specifically about console-based games. I don't think I missed one either, but I feel like I did. But yeah, no, I mean this is clearly very, very far up there. Yeah, I mean you end up with like college football just being addicting as hell too. So, but again, it doesn't have the draft experience. SB, not bad. We'll be circling back to it in a moment. You'll be able to see it then and there. Angels, Steven Winston, he's a 50. And MLB traded another first baseman we thought about picking up. He was a 45. Athletics, Gregory Ojeda's a 66. It's not bad. That was it for them. Seattle with Brian Young. Okay, so he turned out to be pretty solid, but not amazing. 70 overall at 18, barely a B potential. It wouldn't have been a bad pick, but we definitely had a better pick. And then Ray Salas is a 51 at 23 years old. Recruiting is a lot of fun. This and CFB have the most engaging and rewarding system. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, with MLB, you only have the 14 weeks, like, again, unless you have it down to a science like Scrawny Slugger does, when it comes to scouting out prospects, it's one of those things where, you never quite know what the end result is going to be for certain, again, it keeps you on your toes. You never quite know what the end result is going to be for certain prospects, which is good because that is baseball. But yeah, no, out of those yearly release sports games, it's this and college football that are the most engaging and rewarding. And I gotta be honest, NHL's probably at the bottom. NHL's probably at the bottom. But my top 3 would be this college football and Madden, I think, at the moment. Like I said, NBA, the scouting is just nothing, but the draft presentation's great. Yeah, again, hate to say it, but like NHL is clearly at the bottom. Like the draft sucks. It's not engaging at all. The scouting is so disappointing. I agree with Marsteller in that, yeah, his reason for liking Madden the best is, again, you get the combine and the pro day results, and you got to take a look at that. You also got to take a look at the stats and kind of put the numbers together. Whereas NHL, it's just like, well, that guy's projected first. He's probably pretty good. You know, there's no such thing as a top 5 bust in NHL. No such thing. We've seen it happen already less than 3 full years into this. So. Shout out to Joaquin Flores. Can't quite explain why I also feel like this CFB had the best ability to make it feel like a very well-scouted recruiting player can have the biggest tangible effect on the field. I think it's that element of, like, to find the guy, you know, you maybe not inherently, but it's more rewarding to find a good player and to draft a good player in this game and to see him become something, as opposed to NHL. It's like, wow, I can't believe my 3rd overall pick was amazing. That's crazy. Wish it showed a bit more accuracy past the first round. I mean, you can get that accuracy past the first round, but you have to sacrifice that information at the top. You know, risk-reward system, right? Let's see, Ortega's a 48. Kaufman's a 59. Hernandez is 50. NHL doesn't have hidden busts or gems at all, really. Yeah, I mean, it has the gem bust system, but it's not worth it when most of the gems are low 6 forwards. You know? Cool thing about working at a university is when you get to take a group photo with your broadcast crew with a trophy with the team. Oh, there you go. Top hat, congrats, by the way. I saw the message earlier. The Nationals fucked it up again. They went well off the board for catcher Michael Chow. He is atrocious. This is 2 times in the last 3 years that we have seen them just completely blow it. This one's even worse than the other guy who's already out of their organization. What do you think of the Gudis suspension? I mean, at least it was 5 games. It should have been way more. But, yeah, Michael Chow, absolutely dreadful. Cubs didn't really get anybody great. They got Jamie Carroll Jr. Milton Haffey is a 52. Never feels like you're going to find someone like Dodd Zucker, an undrafted dude. It never feels like it, but like you're more likely, well, you're certainly 100% more likely to be able to find a 6th or 7th round steal in NHL than you are to find a bust at the top 5 in NHL. That's for certain. MLB's fun because it's not a guarantee. Wish it wasn't so bad sometimes. Wish you have more scouting points. I could see that, the idea of being able to improve your scouting department to maybe get more than just the 3 scouts. I could see that. Luther Hazel for Cincy. Good. We got a better player, but he would have been good. 67 overall. Herb Hayes is a 57. And it turns out Coleman Good was the closer to go after. We missed. He was out there, though. 71 overall at 18. Damn. Damn. Milwaukee, Casey Lucy's a 63. That's not bad. Joe Best is a 49. Did you already talk about the Chernyshov incident? No one brought it up. And, yeah, I don't really have thoughts on it, obviously. You just hope the guy's okay. That's really all you can say. Like, I know he's out of the hospital, but, you know, I just feel like there's not that much to say. He even made a joke about Coleman's name and he didn't take him. It's true. I feel like 3 isn't enough scouts for a sport that's worldwide. I think that's fair. I think in that way, being able to assign, you know, like having a staff budget, kind of like Out of the Park, right? Or even what, kind of like actually what, like the one good thing the front office manager did back in the day. It's like you have your Japanese focus scout, like, and really it's kind of what NHL scouting system is now, right? Like, okay, you have your scouts here, and here. It's just a matter of how good they are. Duncan Ham, he's a 53. Pretty good. Tom Coleman's a 61. Pretty good. 58 for Andreas Cedeno. 54 for Nunez. So good potentials for the Pirates, not the best overalls. You know? St. Louis, Vinny Velasquez, 57 overall, pretty good. Ramon Diggs is a 59. Dan Sheets is a 45. Turns out picking Dan Sheets was the right move, and I meant to. I accidentally clicked remove from the queue. I mean, Sergachev, that's Twitter. Yeah, like you said. Why must we live in a world where neck guards make you less of a man? Because if I'm not risking my health at any time, then god damn it, someone's gonna call me gay. And there's nothing worse on earth to some of these fucking psychos than the thought of being called gay. I'd rather die. Enrique again. Dude, the Dodgers need to stop getting these pitchers, though. Jesus. I have Fresno. That's officiating in the NHL, though. San Diego, nobody too crazy. San Fran, Howard Holton. It's a 62. Ken Koch is a 63. This is a decent draft. Wasn't perfect from us, but it was pretty good. Boris Travis also would have been a better pick at closer. He was a 68. Oliver Rodriguez is a 50. Ward Sennett is a 58 overall. 66 for Louis Anderle. A 60 for Ray Whitehead, and a 46 for Diego Cordova. Tom O'Donnell, 68 overall at 18. Where the hell was this guy? Jesus. Well, there's the best player in the draft. A 63 for Robbie Link, and a 61 for Felix Lorenz. Damn good draft for Tampa. Blue Jays with Louis Norris, who's a 58. And then back to us, again highlighted by 68 overall, Matt Henley, the second overall pick. Ronald Walsh in the 4th round, a 51. And Calvin Presley in the 6th round, a 47. And a couple of solid, but nothing too special relievers. So we did okay. I think that's fair to say. Game was 2-1 final. His Titans followed third period game with like 6 heart attacks. Carlos, what's up, dude? What's up? Yeah, I mean, well, President, again, like the idea of like, oh man, this player got hurt. It's like, yeah. Oh, the refs were dumb. Yeah. That's the NHL. No amount of outrage or like, what the hell is this, is going to change it, because look at everything else that's happened, and the NHL is still at the bar on the floor standard it's been at for how long now? Like, it just is what it is. Nothing's going to change in regards to the standard of officiating until there's an on-field death or on-ice death in some of these sports. That's just the way it works. Oh, Hulk, I did. That one was scary as hell. I think the other thing I like about this is you can't trade the picks, honestly. Oh my god, this winning streak. The only way to pick Horde is by letting go of your big players with qualified offers. So, hockey's best sport, NHL is the worst league. Typically. All right, September. We are 68 and 72. That's not that bad. Hockey's had multiple. It's been a while, though. And it's specifically in the NHL. Hockey's had some, but it's the NHL that's the problem. Because where hockey goes as a sport is where the NHL goes. If it doesn't change at the top, i.e. visors, neck guards, it's not going to change elsewhere. That's just a fact. Oh, who do we want to call up here? Murakami's hitting 81. He finally broke 30 home runs. We'll obviously look at all the stats at the end of the year. We could call up Christian Campbell, and we probably should. Colson Montgomery. It could be Leover Paguero. Sprinkles at a 71. Or it could be Pereira. Let's call up Christian Campbell. And for pitchers, We got a couple of 72s. We got a 73 in Alex Alberto. Benito Vizcaíno is already Major League caliber. God damn, that happened fast. Alberto, let's add you to the 40-man, buddy. Welcome up. Welcome up, welcome up. PWHL is great. Only complaint I have is that the mix situation can be better. Still don't use all text and social media posts. I mean, I will say at least the on-ice product for the PWHL is phenomenal. For the NHL, like were Clint Malarchuk and Richard Zednik not close enough calls? No. No. And again, we've talked about Ripley, I knew what you meant by merch. The problem is, and shout out to Dana on the YouTube side of things. Welcome to the rookie tier. I appreciate that tremendously. Thank you. Thank you for that. And hey, you got early access to that next YouTube video for another 15 hours before everybody else can see it. There you go. As we finished 79 and 83, pretty good record, all things considered. Maybe too good. We definitely cost ourselves a better draft pick, but we'll talk about that in a second. You guys have a chance to look at what the playoffs will be, and then we'll look at some stats. So Napster, we've talked about this before in regards to hockey. There's two problems when it comes to equipment, standards, all of that, right? If I watch on both Twitch and YouTube, do you get double the money? Potentially? Potentially. If you want to watch on both, I can't imagine how that would hurt. I'll just say that. I can't imagine how that would hurt. So yeah, the issue with hockey is, number one, a lot of players are fucking stupid. We've seen this. We know this for a fact. A lot of players are fucking stupid. There's a lot of this macho bullshit. There's a lot of superstitious nonsense. With respect to Sidney Crosby, the guy's still wearing the same fucking pads he wore when he was 18 years old. There's a lot of that shit. At the same time, you're also going to see it be, the idea of increased player safety. That's going to be used in terms of a, like CBA, the bargaining agreement conversation, and it being like, well, if we make it safer for the players, then the players have to give this up in negotiations. And it's like, well, the players don't really want to give that up. It's all just a bunch of goddamn nonsense, and nothing is really going to change until somebody dies. And even then, it probably won't change. And while it's not a direct one-to-one, let's talk about the idea of dumb people, overly macho bullshit, overly superstitious bullshit. The WWE. Did the drug abuse issues stop in wrestling, whether it be drugs, steroids, whatever? Did that stop in wrestling once Eddie Guerrero died at age 38? No. Did it even really get cracked down on all that hard? Not really. They instituted a further established drug policy in the wake of Eddie Guerrero's death. But let's be honest, and we know this, because in 2007, there were a shitload of suspensions because people got busted, kind of like baseball players did, for purchasing steroids and shit like that, in the aftermath of the Chris Benoit tragedy. Like, it took Eddie Guerrero dying, and then it took that for them to be like, we should probably get serious about this, shouldn't we? And then they end up being PG less than a year later, yada, yada, yada. Like, these changes, and Sergachev, thank you, you have to drag people kicking and screaming to improve their conditions half the time. That's not just like a sports thing, that's a life thing, but especially in sports, when it comes to the idea of safety, and outside of sports, the idea of regulations are written in blood, like that's the case. Like that is the case. It just is what it is. And yeah, in hockey, like, you look at the NFL, now there can be some debate over like, oh, okay, well, how effective are Guardian caps really? But let's be honest, even if they were only like 10% more effective at preventing concussions, They should be used. But what's the biggest conversation about Guardian caps? Oh, I don't want to look stupid when I'm on the field. It's your fucking health. It's your fucking brain. Whatever's left of it in there, you fucking idiots. But whatever. Like, again, you can only care so much and have this conversation so much because it's just not going to change until something truly tragic happens. That is what it is. You know how I know that? Because we've had this conversation about like player safety in sports for years. I was having this conversation when I was doing the podcast with Deej 6 years ago. We were having this conversation 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It just doesn't change. It doesn't change. So if they don't want to change, cool. Just hope that you're not the one that dies on the ice, dies on the field, whatever, because it is what it is. You know what's macho? Being able to run around with your kids at age 45. Well, you know. It's tough to think that far ahead, though, don't you know? Anyway, I'm done with this conversation. You can continue it in chat if you care to, because I want to take a look at how our boys did this year. Hello, Crash Andrews, by the way. How was the game? For our position players, Brooks Baldwin was once again the hit leader with 166. If the NHL game was better, I'd be playing it. It sucks. That's fair. I can enjoy it for what it is, but I definitely understand people's lack of excitement about the game. There are a lot of older hockey games that hold up pretty well, though. NASCAR with Earnhardt Steph safety improvements. The Hans. Yeah, exactly. Like, NASCAR didn't really get those improvements. Let's be honest. It's like F1 had to be dragged kicking and screaming into adding the Halo device to cars, and that has already directly saved 3 people from dying. Bare minimum 3 people. Roman Grosjean probably the most notable, but like bare minimum 3. There would have been 3 on-track deaths in the past decade had it not been for the Halo. And shout out to Venezuela knocking out Japan. Holy fuck. That's insane. Also, that kind of sucks because now it really feels like the U.S. is going to win the WBC, but hope I'm wrong. Home run leader, Murakami with 35. 30 for Baldwin. 26 for Montgomery. Dude, Brooks Baldwin, 59 power, hit 30 home runs. Jesus Christ. What a season for Brooksy, though. God damn. A little bit disappointed in Kyle Teal's lack of production, but OPS this year was Murakami, then Teal, Caro when he played, Baldwin, Madrigal. Teal led non-base, okay. Most walks, Munetaka, strikeout leader. Still got quite a few dudes with quite a few strikeouts, unfortunately. Quite a few. But, I mean, all things considered, Kyle Teal, not bad. Murakami. And Toglia was kind of the worst player there. Pitchers, Hagen Smith had our highest amount of wins. We had 4 pitchers with at least 10 wins. It's the first time that's happened since we took over. 50 saves on the year for Grant Taylor. Holy shit. Ariel Rodriguez with the worst ERA on the team. Taylor was great. Thorpe was great. Shane Smith, Sean Burke. It's not bad.
For those about to score,
not bad. Spenny, thank you very much for the 20 months. Very, very much appreciated. How are you? How's your weekend been so far? Shout out to the Smiths doing well. Yeah, Ariel Rodriguez was clearly our worst pitcher, but we definitely improved. That's what we needed. We're still not going to have the highest of draft picks in the world either. I did just remember I forgot to look at the top prospect. No, I did. No, I did. I did look at it last night, didn't I? I think. Started the female player only challenge in MLB is at least 10 players in the first year draft. Maybe we'll have to do that. Like I said, piss off people on Twitter and Reddit. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's find out who is going to win the World Series in Season 3. And the answer is the Chicago Cubs beating the Athletics Nick Kurtz is him. But unfortunately, not enough to get past the Cubs. So yeah, for the Athletics, of course, they got Mason Miller back. Kurtz is unreal. Brent Rooker, Soderstrom, Michael King. That's a strong roster. That is a strong roster. Pretty damn good pitching staff, too. I mean, Kurtz is already a 94, man. God damn. Now they refuse to pay him and he hits free agency, right? If he does, trust me, we're spending. We're spending. But the Cubs ended up winning the World Series behind Cade Smith, Michael Busch, William Contreras, PCA, Bregman. Also a pretty strong roster. Very pitching heavy. Very pitching heavy. But when you have Lars Nootbaar, what more do you need? What more do you need? Oh, look, the first year they'd be in Vegas. Award winners for the year. Jesus Sanchez was the World Series MVP this year. Tremendous Marsteller. ALCS MVP was actually Freddie Fermin. How the hell didn't Brent Rooker get ALCS MVP? What the hell? That's insane. 6 home runs in that series. 12 RBI. He's not winning MVP? I think maybe we can address some of the award logic still. Key player was Michael Busch for the Cubs leading up to the World Series, though. Your AL MVP, Ben Rice. Yeah, I mean, much lower average than Kurtz, 4 fewer home runs, but 15 more RBI. I'd probably go for Nick Kurtz on that one, but... And Judge was also up there. How old is Judge now at this point? 35. He's down to a 95. Still very good, though. Your NL MVP, Shohei Ohtani. Do you have the Kopitar on the wall? I don't. I won't even make you pay for the channel points, Crashy. Go ahead and save them. So back-to-back MVPs for Shohei. Michael Busch, Taylor Ward were also up there. I mean, yeah, clearly Shohei deserved it. Your AL Cy Young goes to Joe Ryan, the first year of his monster contract in Seattle. And I can't really disagree with it. Compared to Garrett Crochet, Shane Baz, he definitely deserved it. Is the aging logic still awful? No. That is the other thing that they addressed this year. So, a couple years ago when we did a streamer versus chat, and you guys brought in Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and then after one season, he fell by like 10 overall points. Yeah, they don't do that anymore, thankfully. Pittsburgh made the playoffs only in the show. They've actually made it the last 2 years or so. It's because Paul Skeens hasn't left yet. NL Cy Young goes to Tyler Glasnow. Rightfully so. Freddie Peralta, Paul Skeens were also up there. Not bad. Seems like that does randomly happen in baseball. It does. And it can still happen that certain players are going to plummet faster than others. But again, like for example, Aaron Judge is still very, very good. Instead of, falling off of a goddamn cliff out of nowhere. But, and you can already see, his performance is dropping. His performance is definitely dropping. And you factor in now the AI and their lineup management, right? Like, if Judge starts to drop that much, or the Yankees get somebody who's better in certain regards, maybe Judge isn't in one of those priority spots in the lineup, and he'll fall off faster. There's some more factors to it now, which is nice. Marsteller, it's going to happen. Just got to be patient. AL batting title goes to Corey Seager. NL batting title to Pittsburgh's Brendan Donovan. And, of course, they picked up Jazz mid-season. So, the Pirates have actually invested a little bit. NL reliever of the year, Cade Smith. Can't disagree with that at all. Very, very deserving. AL reliever of the year, Josh Sborz. Man, there was, when Texas won the World Series, There was this one frickin' at bat where he threw that slurve, and it was one of the grossest pitches I've ever seen in my life. And that's all I think now when I think of Josh Sborz, is that moment. Like, just for that reason, it's like, man, you could fall off the face of the earth and just he had that fucking slurve. Let's see. AL Rookie of the Year goes to Jared Jones over Max Anderson and Ken Chan. Yeah, Jared Jones definitely deserved it. And your NL Rookie of the Year, Ethan Salas, out here doing pro baseball spirits pitches in real life. Very true. Very true. Yeah, I can see why Ethan Salas deserved it. Hank Aaron Award winners Shohei Ohtani and Corey Seager. Any Gold Glovers or Silver Sluggers for us? Colson Montgomery finished second for a Gold Glove behind Andreas Jimenez. Jordan Beck wins the Gold Glove in left. Okay, not bad. Not bad, not bad. Brooks Baldwin won the Silver Slugger at DH. Anybody else? Anybody else? Not looking like it. Not looking like it. So season 3 comes to a close. We are definitely progressing. We're getting better. We got a lot of staff contracts that have come due, which is pretty nice. Salvi's gone. Aroldis Chapman. Salvi and Freddie Freeman have both made the Hall of Fame. Wasn't Beck Dogwater in year 1? He very much was. Right after we got him, it's like, oh boy, did we make a mistake. But thankfully, doesn't look that bad. Does it have extra point awards like Madden? I think it can help, but it's not as blatant as it is in Madden with like direct upgrade points or a potential.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking
Shout out
grass.
to Cole for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you very, very much for that. Just to give the example, I mean, Beck is up to a 78. He is only a C potential still, though. When will the first draft of glory be? I mean, it could be a streamer versus chat draft of glory after this. We could do that. I haven't really decided what we're going to want to do for our first kind of wonky house rules challenge. We're down 0-2 in World Series in the Chicago run so far. That we are. All right, we need a new manager. We still cannot sort by grade, which I'm pretty disappointed by. But let's see. We got Britt Duncan, -2 to break. AJ Hinch, - to plate vision. Michael Cohen. Chang Ho Lee. This is the guy who ended up... He was our college manager and rode to the show. Gary Copen, Dave Estrada, Claudio Garcia, contact, break, and arm strength, -2 to bunting. Claudio, I would love to have you on this roster, buddy. The manager roster. SB, I didn't see the promo. I know he won his fight, though. We also need a hitting and a pitching coach here. Hitting coach. Clutch vision, +3 to power for David Ash. No minuses for Sexton or Perry McKee, but he has the bunting boost. Clutch contact power, -2 to drag bunting. Ramon Fernandez. Let's go for you. And then the pitching coach. We just don't want anybody with any negatives. Steven Castillo. All right. So we'll go there. Exclusive free agent negotiations. Emilio Pagan and Nick Madrigal. Both are absolutely being dropped. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Did we have anybody that was a filler player? Like Tim Studer. That we would like to get rid of just to make sure they're not auto-signed. And it's great to see Matt Henley now as the project first baseman because, oh my God, did we need a project first baseman. Second base, nobody to cut. Third base, I think Keith Simon. God, Simon's first overall. I can't believe how bad the game lied to me. How badly those scouts got it wrong. Like Petit will keep just because he's younger. Hugo Page, same thing. Park, same thing. Which wrestler would you least like to fight in real life, and is it Dr. Death Steve Williams? He's up there. Shout out to Haku, who was also up there. Lesnar, Matt Riddle. Because it's like you have certain people that were just like legitimately fucking tough, but then you have other people that are trained, and that's even more scary, you know? Like, yeah, not that, well, New Jack would just, it wouldn't be a fight. He'd just fucking stab you. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, though, I would probably rather take my chances against the New Jack than someone more trained. Because at least if it's that type of brawl where it's like wild swinging, you at least have a chance. But if it's someone who has that composure, I mean, you are just SOL. Like, you have no chance. James Ellsworth, because you're either the guy who beat up him or the guy who got beaten up by him. Oof. All right, got our hitting coach. What about our manager, please? Oh, our pitching coach, actually, is who we're waiting for. All right, we still need him to sign. But he hasn't. Okay, so free agency. Got to figure out the 40-man, then we got everything else going on. So let us see. Eligible for the 40-man, Romo, Appel, Turner. Again, if Romo gets claimed, so be it. First base. We're okay. Second base. I mean, Antonacci, Berry, Gonzalez. If any of those guys get claimed, that's fair. Like, they're just dudes. We have too much going on at second base as it is. At third, Luis Suspel. We will actually add you to the 40-man. And we'll take Brian Ramos. No, not off of it, but we just won't add him. Shortstops. Vargas gets claimed, that's fine. Barrow gets claimed, that's fine. Ladis, Balcazar. Yeah. If you had to fight any male wrestler to the death, who would you choose? Jerry the King Lawler. Because I just saw an interview and he's not looking too hot. So honestly, I'd be able to do it kind of guilt-free because it would feel like a mercy kill. There you go. There's my serious answer. Steve Blackman. At least being able to say that, like, hey, how'd he die? Oh, Steve Blackman fucked him up. It'd be like, dude, that's pretty cool. Hugo Page. We'll leave on the 40-man. All right, nothing else there. Shout out to Garrett Beavers. Closers. Uriarte is eligible. That's fine. Anybody else who's eligible here? Murphy, if he gets claimed, whatever. Sandlin. And honestly, at this point, if any of these dudes get claimed, we're fine with it. Ramirez won't be eligible. And then for the starters, anybody here? Kai Bush, if he gets claimed, whatever. Christian Apor, because he's 24 years old. Let's add him to the 40-man. Anybody else down here? Just a bunch of D potentials. Okay, we should be good. All right, so the 40-man is set. Arbitration. Colson Montgomery. Colson, 1-year deal will be $6.8 million. Will be my offer to you. Grant Taylor, 3.8. 3.8. Murakami will look to hold on to. Well, Dylan, you know, we're pretty similar people, we've discovered. 7.5 and 5 mil. 5 mil in arbitration. Holy hell, previous salary. Yeah, I'm not offering you 19 million, buddy. Oh, boy. Yeah, Munataka might have to go. He is not worth that much. Good lord. Marstar, take it easy, dude. Yeah, we are not paying Murakami. He's worth about 5 mil. We are not paying him 15. Potentially more, depending on what the arbitrator decides. Michael Toglia. You might end up being the starter next year, buddy. Arbitration, we'll go 3.1 mil. Drew Thorpe. 10 mil. God, even 6.4. You're kind of out to lunch, buddy. Jesus. Not really worth this, but I just don't want to lose you for nothing, you know? Christ. This is a big overpay. At least we can afford it. Edgar. 1.9. I'd fight CM Punk. There you go. 1.9 for Edgar. That Drew Thorpe contract is nuts. Paez, we're looking at 2.7. Go ahead and do that. And that's it for that. Okay. And then the contract tenders, again, like the AI does a relatively good job, but if you want to make sure, like if there's certain people who you think they might cut, you know, you're going to want to play it safe with renewables. So, like Hagen Smith, like these guys up here, you pretty much know they're automatically going to qualify, but like, how old is Brandon Ramirez? 19? Like, yeah, these are the players I want to make sure that we keep here, even if it takes a while. So, I just want to make sure we don't lose anybody, because I kind of like the state of this roster right now. I'd never want to fight Chipman. Take your head off at that vertical leap. Olympic bobsledder. Dylan, it's a shame that he is such a, we're talking about Jim Cornette here, that he's just such a dick. Because goddamn, he can be funny as hell. And also, when he sticks to talking about things that happened like 2000, earlier than the year 2000. He's fun to listen to, but outside of that, you know, no thank you. So, like, on YouTube, if it's ever like, hey, do you remember this U-Shoot from 2011? I'm like, yeah, I'll check that out, fine. But if it's like, hey, you want to hear an episode of Jim Cornette's podcast from 2026? No, I really don't. I really don't. I still unfortunately use Twitter, so I see plenty of racist, sexist comments quite often. So, you know. We don't need any more than what we already see, right? I do just want to keep all of these dudes. Why not? You don't want to hear him complain about Danhausen? Eh. I mean, I'd be surprised if he wasn't complaining about Danhausen, to be honest. You know? I'd be more surprised if he wasn't, you know? It's kind of... it's kind of like Jim Cornette being like, oh, yeah, no, Danhausen's great, would be as awkward as it is when Trump is like, Zoran Mamdani, I like that guy. It's like, it's fucking weird, don't you think? So, you know, it's pretty fucking jarring, so, I don't know. All right, there we go. Renewables are done, arbitration's out, except to Murakami. So, taking a look at the roster, Because our trade hub and everything is still going to be, in terms of the block and the untouchables, I think it would be set up as well as we want here. Although, you know what? Maybe we want to redo. I do wish there was a quick option to clear out the block. But let's take a look. So catchers, Teal is still untouchable. Caro is on the block. First base, Henley's untouchable. Murakami and Toglia, if the right deals come through, we're good with them leaving. Second base, Majdroth right now is not untouchable, but staying. Felton's untouchable. Everybody else can go. Even, we go back to the block. Go back to the block. Let's add Jacob Gonzalez to that list. Whoops. Third base. Presley is going to be untouchable still. Everybody else, like if they... Mainly because they don't have enough spots on the block. If they go, they go. No one's untouchable, though. Shortstops. Colson's still untouchable. A couple other people are on the block. That's fine. Beck is going to be untouchable for now after winning that gold glove. Acuna and Baldwin. I mean, Baldwin's still being shopped. And then right there, everything is okay. Man, I don't know if Braden Montgomery's going to make it. Anything else to do? Anybody else to protect? I think just that young starter. Yeah, so Walsh isn't going anywhere. Okay, cool. So in terms of what we need, let's talk about that. So at catcher, we are still fine. We don't need a starter. We don't need a backup. Catcher's fine. First base, we're fine for the moment unless Murakami walks. Second base, we're fine. Third base, we are still looking, ideally, for that starter. Shortstop, we're fine. Left field, we're fine. Center, we're fine. Right, we're fine. Starter, we're good. Even though Drew Thorpe is about to make way too much goddamn fucking money. And honestly, relievers, we're not looking that bad either. It's really just a third baseman. That is the deal of what we need, is a third baseman. So badly. So badly. So free agents this year. Free agents. We look at the top catchers. I just heard this song the other day. I don't want to listen to it again. Shea Langeliers, Sean Murphy, Yanier Diaz, Logan O'Hop, the O'Hoppy, Joey Bart. No one that we need. First base, Spencer Torkelson, Vinny Pasquantino, Alec Burleson. Again, nobody that we need. Second base, Ernie Clements, Josh Smith, the basketball player. Romy Gonzalez, Luis Arias, Tyro Estrada. Third base, Bo Bichette, Royce Lewis, Nolan Gorman. 15 mil a year for Nolan Gorman. I don't know. Might just be better to wait. Big boy, that's outstanding. Shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. I mean, obviously would be great, but so damn expensive. Both in price, the qualifying offer they have on him. CJ Abrams would probably be the smarter play, but we don't need him. Left field, Jordan. Wow, Jordan's still at a 97. Holy shit. 30. Yeah, he's only 31. He's always younger than I think he is. Center field, Byron Buxton, O'Neal Cruz. Right field, Ronald Acuna. Gary Carpenter, Josh Lowe. And then starters, it was Hunter Brown, Tyler Glasnow, George Kirby, Framber Valdez. Again, just nobody that we're going to look to spend that big money on yet. We don't want to hurt our chances of a lottery pick. You know, we don't want to make the playoffs too early when we're just not ready for prime time. So, yeah, free agency, We got nothing. We got nothing that we're looking for here. We are fine. We do get a trade offer for David Larson for outfielder Everson Pereira. Larson's 23, a 68, and a C. He's just kind of another guy in the mix at third base. Pereira's one of those guys in the outfield where we don't really have much for him, but we do get a 4 years younger third baseman in a position of need, and we move out one of the outfielders. I'm going to say no to that, though. I'd want more for Pereira because he doesn't look that bad. Which wrestler tag team from the early days in TNA do you think would really do well in AMW if they were there at that age? America's Most Wanted. Triple X. We got an offer for catcher Arthur Hicks. 22, 58, and a B for Drew Thorpe, who just signed that massive $10 million a year contract. 28 years old and a 77. I said I did want to sign Thorpe to move him. Getting a meh catcher might not be the best move. Was Thorpe truly that good last year? Big inning eater. 3.18 ERA, a 1.31 whip. He was good. I don't know if he's $10 million good. 4.62 FIP. Yeah, we're going to flip Drew Thorpe to the Yankees. I don't want to pay him that much, and we'll just take on this catcher. That's fine. At least we got something for him in the form of Arthur Hicks. So, thank you, New York. And we are still primarily going to be looking for a third baseman. It's interesting we got offered a catcher. Honestly, we will let's go ahead and make that guy untouchable just to try to train him up. Ripley, not wrong. There's quite a few, actually, that would have worked. Mason Wynn has been traded from one Bird team to another. He's arbitration eligible. Interesting. For Enrique Bradfield Jr., who's a 76, and Juan Yepez, who's a 75. So that screams they weren't going to be able to come to a deal with Mason Wynn. So get two usable players back and just let Baltimore get the deal that he's not going to sign with you. I don't hate it. And then the Orioles, holy shit, man, they're making moves. They just picked up Hunter Green, who was on an unbelievable contract for this upcoming season, in exchange for Cade Anderson, who is a promising young starter, Colton Cowser, who is a very solid center fielder, and Pablo Guerrero, a decent first base prospect. Man, that one you'd like to see Cincy probably get a tiny bit more back for, but there is an 83 overall center fielder in there. They also have to come up with a deal for Cowser, so don't hate that deal. Is it the best one we've seen? Probably not, but still. It's not as bad as some of the deals we were seeing in the prior year's games, I'll say that. Andres Munoz heading back to Seattle. He was the number 3 free agent this year. 5 years, $16 million per. While Edwin Diaz is heading to the Dodgers. Well, back to the Dodgers. The number 9 free agent, $19 mil for the year. I was going to say over the next couple of years, it was just 1 year. Holy hell, man. Look at Baltimore. They pick up catcher Hunter Goodman, 87 overall at 29, for one of the top prospects in baseball, 19-year-old center fielder James Lloyd. Damn. Baltimore is going for it. Hunter Brown, the number 2 free agent, goes to the Yankees. 6 years, $40 million per. Good Lord. Have fun ditching that contract later. Have fun ditching that contract later. Yeah, Baltimore is heavily reloading. Like I said, I think we're good. Anthony Aenson? I think it's Aenson, right? 71 overall at 24 for 86 overall reliever Matt Svanson. That's another one where you'd like to see, I think, St. Louis get a little bit more back. Like, Janssen's fine, but Evanson's an 86 overall reliever, but they haven't been able to come to terms with him on a deal yet. So I can also see that as like, all right, fuck it, just get rid of this guy. We don't want to deal with it. Ronald Acuna Jr. heading to the Cubs. 7 years, $43 million per for the 31-year-old. Those are the type of contracts I do not like handing out. No, thank you. All right, we know the 40-man's fine. And we did not get our pitching coach, unfortunately. Yankees and Tigers make a big trade. The Tigers get Ray Whitehead, an 18-year-old starting pitching prospect who looks great, in exchange for Reese Olson, 79 overall starter, Alex Vesia, the 87 overall reliever, and 72 overall reliever Scott Efros. So they got a starter, a very good reliever. They gave up one of the best young starters. Okay, I mean, the Yankees are going for it, right? Prospects? What do we need prospects? Honestly, that kind of feels like a reaction to what Baltimore did. Like, oh, Baltimore's stocking up. The Red Sox made a big deal last year. Like, man, we should probably do something here. Not bad. Kind of upset we've still only gotten that one trade offer. There we go. Well, ask and you shall receive. Oh, this is perfect for us. First base prospect Joaquim Cedeno, 19 years old, only a 50, but B potential. And 59 overall starter Mark McClendon, who's basically nothing. But we get to move out one of those second basemen where we have too many of them. We also get to move out Kai Bush, Yariel Rodriguez, and Tyler Gilbert. So it serves as a cap dump for us. It gets us another first base prospect in the mix. It is for major league level talents. But again, Rodriguez at his age, he's declining. Like, yeah, can get rid of him. Gilbert was in AAA last year. Bush was in AAA last year. And then Perez, that one kind of hurts, but he's third on the depth chart at best. He's actually fourth, I think. So I like that deal. I like that deal quite a bit. I mean, McClendon just is what it is, but to get another first base prospect, that works for me, and we clear out that logjam a bit elsewhere and get some cap space. And it sure is just shitty for another year, too. There you go. There you go. So welcome in Joaquim Cedeno. Definitely happy to get him. And he is very much also going to be listed as untouchable now that we have he and Henley in the mix. Another offer. Ooh. Interesting. 27-year-old starter Thomas Harrington, fringe major leaguer. Second baseman Nick York. I don't need him, but it might still be worth it. And I'll say why in a second. Second baseman Jimmy Dixon, who's just a guy, and Cam Canarella, who's just a guy. We'd move on from Everson Pereira, which, again, we kind of have a logjam in right. We'd get rid of the $7.5 million a year of Christian Campbell, who has just not bounced back. Again, the Red Sox gave up on him. We tried to rehab him a bit, but that potential just hasn't gone back up. Sam Antonacci, who's another one of those second basemen. And then Edison Paez, who is also overpaid right now. In fairness, though, this is just kind of a cap dump. We're really not getting much back to do it. I'm going to say no to this one. I'm not that desperate to get rid of Christian Campbell. And there's really nothing in the trade that makes it worth it. You know, unlike that other deal where we got that first baseman. So, I don't want to make trades just for the sake of making them, you know. Draft lottery is here. And, well, we know that we went on a run at the end of the season. Case in point. 14th best odds at a 0.8% chance. As opposed to a top one or top two Methinks we're not going to have a top 10 pick this year. Methinks. I think we were a little bit too good last year, if we're being honest. But let's see what the lottery results are. We hold at number 14. The Cardinals, Rockies, and Giants all move up. The Angels were the big losers of the day. Might be best not to have the pressure of a top pick. That is fair. 14th overall is where we stand after a 79-win season. And Tyler Glasnow has signed with New York, the number 6 free agent. 2-year deal, $40.7 million a year for the 35-year-old. And that will bring us to the Rule 5 draft. Question is, are we going to want anybody? So at catcher, we still have Teal and Caro. Frank, what's up? Are we winning? More than we were, but maybe that's not a good thing in the short term. Yeah, we really don't have space for a catcher right now, and there's nobody so good. First base, we don't have room, right? Murakami signed. Yeah, Murakami did sign. 7.5, that's not bad. So yeah, nothing to really do at first base. Second base. Nick Sogard, I mean, you can tell, right? There's just way too much going on there. Way too much. Third base. Unless we wanted to take Diane? Dylon? Yeah, we don't want you. Braden Taylor. Carson Rucker. Shortstops. Don't need anybody. Left field. Jared Thomas, but we have such a logjam of talent. Center field. Drew Jones is still there. He's been there every year. Nobody's claimed him. And in right, nobody that we need. What about starters? Jake Irvin. Don't really need him. We have Paez. We have Norman Kay. We're fine. We are fine. Nothing to worry about. Relievers. Well, let's look at closers first. I was going to say, yeah, because there's normally nobody that good. So outright relievers, Pyamps, Sugart, the old Sugart. I think we're good. I don't think we need a Rule 5 pickup this year. We took advantage of it in the first couple of years, but really don't need it. We really don't. All right. Any other interesting trade offers to come up, though? Yordan Alvarez gets a mammoth 9-year, $41 million per contract from Seattle at age 31. Talk about ambition. The American League is a nightmare right now. It's a good thing we're not shaping up to be that great. That is... Whew. God damn. Oh, Crashy. That is a mammoth deal. Holy hell. Gunnar Henderson gets a 12-year, $34.6 million per contract from the Toronto Blue Jays. Hold on. I'll hit the button.
Oh, yay! Hooray! He said Toronto! Yay! Woo! Yay! That's where we live. We live in Toronto. Yay! Shut up!
Delightful. Wow. Big deal for Gunnar Henderson. Anything else? Framber Valdez on his way to the Yankees for $33 million this year. And the Yankees are throwing their weight around. They are throwing their weight around. George Kirby gets a 5-year, $42.7 million per year contract from Arizona. That explains why the Mariners had some money, I suppose. And Byron Buxton is also heading to Arizona. 3-year deal, $38.7 million per for the 35-year-old. Champ, thank you very much for the 9 months. It's a boy. And hopefully he'll play for Arizona because he'll be rich in the future. Baseball proves to me that money isn't real. Oh, man. Yankees still have money to keep up with the Joneses. Dodgers, apparently. Apparently. All right. Like I said, free agency. There really wasn't anybody that we wanted. I forgot to sign a manager. I'm sure some people have been yelling forever. It's a pitching coach. Never mind. It wasn't a manager. Who needs a pitching coach? Ed Brady. Here's a story about Ed Brady. And he signed. There we go. Problem solved. So, spring training. We have a roster to finalize, but I don't really know what to make of what season, this next season's going to be. I don't know if we're going to be good. I have a feeling we might be closer to good than we are bad. But also the American League just went nuts. So, I don't know.